Christmas Day morning here on BBC One, starting now with breakfast.
Hello, good morning, happy Christmas. Welcome to Breakfast with Roger Johnson. Our headlines today. The King is expected to draw on his cancer treatment in his traditional Christmas message, delivered from a former hospital chapel rather than a royal residence.
Merry Christmas from the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, where the King and Queen will be spending Christmas with other members of the royal family. But one person not on the guest list, Prince Andrew, after his relationship with an alleged Chinese spy was exposed.
The Archbishop of York will call for actions over words in his Christmas sermon as the Church of England faces criticism over its handling of abuse scandals.
Happy Christmas. Today we're looking at a fairly cloudy day. There's some murky conditions around, some drizzle. We've also got some wet and windy conditions across the northwest of Scotland, but there will be some sunshine in the forecast.
And we'll have a special performance from the winner of the piano, Brad Keller, who's going to tell us about growing up in care with his twin brother. Morning, Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us. It is Christmas Day, Wednesday, the 25th of December. Our main story today, the King is expected to refer to his cancer treatment during his traditional Christmas message later. The royal family will go to church at Sandringham this morning, but Prince Andrew will not be joining them. Our senior royal correspondent, Daniela Relf, has more. Right, let's have a look at the weather, shall we? Carol is with us this morning. No one can question your commitment, the First Lady of Breakfast, and here you are on Christmas Day to tell us what the weather's like. Carol, happy Christmas.
Oh, happy Christmas to you too, Roger. Thank you. And happy Christmas to you as well. And still mild, Roger.
Carol, thank you very much. We'll speak to you again in the next hour. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, we're going to talk about someone who we've mentioned a number of times on the programme over the last few years, a girl called Laura Nuttall, a young woman who completed an extensive bucket list before she died from brain cancer. Her family have now climbed one of her favourite walking spots for the 100th time to mark what would have been her 25th birthday. Laura died in May 2023 after being diagnosed with an aggressive form of brain cancer. Our reporter Katie Barnfield did the climb with them. That was Graham Satchell reporting. It's 6:33. Good morning if you've just joined us. Happy Christmas. I'll have the headlines for you at 7 o'clock. But before that, it's been one of the most challenging years in recent memory for the royal family. The King and Princess of Wales have both been treated for cancer, and Prince Andrew's Newsnight interview has been turned into not one but two TV dramas. Sarah Campbell has been looking back at the royal family's 2024.
A year like no other. First the King, then the Princess of Wales, diagnosed with cancer.
This, of course, came as a huge shock. And William and I have been doing everything we can to process and manage this privately for the sake of our young family.
Good man, this one.
Prince William called it the hardest year of his life, supporting his wife and family while flying the flag for Britain abroad. Honouring the fallen on the beaches of Normandy, 80 years on from D-Day. And Harry, the party prince, back in the UK.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast. Happy Christmas with Roger Johnson. Our headlines today. The King is expected to draw on his cancer treatment in his traditional Christmas message, delivered from a former hospital chapel rather than a royal residence.
Merry Christmas from the Sandringham Estate in Norfolk, where the King and Queen will be spending Christmas with other members of the royal family. But one person not on the guest list, Prince Andrew, after his friendship with an alleged Chinese spy was exposed.
The Archbishop of York will call for actions over words in his Christmas sermon as the Church of England faces criticism over its handling of abuse scandals.
We're at a homeless shelter in Manchester where hot food is being served to those who spend the night on the streets. And we'll speak to the volunteers working on Christmas Day.
We'll have a special performance of In the Bleak Midwinter from our Russia editor Steve Rosenberg in Moscow and Channel 4's Kieran Jenkins in the UK.
Happy Christmas. Today it's going to be a mild day in prospect. We're looking at fairly cloudy, murky conditions. There's some drizzle. We've got rain and windy conditions in the northwest, but there is some sunshine in the forecast. I'll tell you where later in the programme.
Good morning, Merry Christmas. It is Christmas Day, Wednesday the 25th of December. Our main story today, the King is expected to refer to his cancer treatment during his traditional Christmas message later. The royal family will go to church at Sandringham this morning, but Prince Andrew will not be joining them. Our senior royal correspondent, Daniela Relf, has more details. Let's talk to Carol, see what the weather is like. Morning, Carol. Merry Christmas again. I must admit, when I got up, I don't know about where you were this morning, there was an awful lot of fog around.
Oh, that is absolutely right, Roger. Good morning. Happy Christmas to you as well, and happy Christmas if you're watching at home. Perhaps you've been up very early this morning for the time of year.
Yeah, it is very mild. It's the one thing everyone's talking about, isn't it? Carol, thank you so much. We'll speak to you again a little later. We've been talking during the programme today about people coming together over Christmas, maybe with family and friends. For many people, a time for gathering together and celebrating, but it also can be a lonely time for people and a time for helping those who are most in need. Homelessness charity LifeShare has been working for almost 40 years to support homeless and vulnerable people across Greater Manchester. It's one of the few charities open on Christmas Day. Let's go to our reporter, Ollie Constable. He's there for us. Ollie, morning to you. They're going to be busy there. Just tell us a bit more about what's going on. We are going to have a few little musical interludes this morning. That was Kieran Jenkins from Channel 4. Steve Rosenberg, of course, the BBC's Russia editor, with In the Bleak Midwinter. It's just after 7:30. Good morning if you've just joined us. Merry Christmas. As we've been hearing this morning, the royal family will visit Sandringham Church later as part of their annual Christmas celebrations. Our correspondent Charlotte Gallagher is outside the church for us this morning. An annual tradition, Charlotte, for the royal family, and always draws a crowd, doesn't it, when they come to the church on Christmas morning? Right, let's have a look at the weather, shall we? Just approaching 7:45. Carol is back with us again. Morning, Carol, again. How's it looking for Christmas morning?
Very mild, Roger, and Merry Christmas to everyone. It's a mild start to the day. It's going to be a mild day generally. Temperatures down just a touch, Roger.
Yeah, we will. Thank you, Carol. Just out of interest, are you a Gavin and Stacey fan?
Yes. Not hugely, but yes. And I'm certainly interested in this one. And please don't tell me you've got a guest from Gavin and Stacey on now.
No, don't worry. No, they're not coming in here on a Christmas morning, Carol. Don't worry about that. But we are going to see some quite interesting stuff. Carol, thank you very much indeed. I'll be like Carol. I'll be watching the final edition of Gavin and Stacey tonight, 9 o'clock. It's the moment that many fans of the programme have been waiting for, the last ever episode. And I know not everyone's interested, not everyone cares, but back in 2019, millions of people tuned in to see Nessa declare her love for Smithy and propose. Tonight at 9 o'clock, we'll find out, I guess, whether the wedding bells did ever ring. Our entertainment correspondent, Colin Patterson, has had exclusive access behind the scenes. We saw part 1 of his reports yesterday. Here comes part 2. But don't worry, there are no spoilers. Oh, it all finishes at 9 o'clock tonight on BBC One. I think Rob Brydon needs to take the tie that he's got permanently around his head, doesn't he? He can wear it on Would I Lie to You? Special programme, Gavin and Stacey, the making of the finale, is on BBC iPlayer. You can watch it now. And as I said, 9 o'clock tonight, when you will actually get to see it. That contained no spoilers, so we've not given anything away. Stay with us. Headlines are on the way. Hello, good morning, welcome to breakfast. Happy Christmas. I'm Roger Johnson. Here are our headlines today. The King is expected to draw on his cancer treatment in his traditional Christmas message, delivered from a former hospital chapel rather than a royal residence.
And I'm at the Sandringham estate in Norfolk, where the King and Queen will spend Christmas with other members of the royal family and hundreds of well-wishers.
The Archbishop of York will call for actions over words in his Christmas sermon as the Church of England faces criticism over its handling of abuse scandals.
We're at a breakfast club in Manchester feeding vulnerable people and speaking to the staff who are working on Christmas Day.
We'll have a special performance from the winner of the piano, Brad Keller, who tells us about growing up in care with his twin brother.
Merry Christmas. It's a mild start to the day, leading us into a mild day generally. It's also going to be fairly cloudy and murky, wet and windy across the northwest of Scotland, but there will be some sunshine around, and I'll tell you where later in the programme.
Morning, it is Christmas Day, Wednesday the 25th of December. Season's greetings, happy Christmas if you have just joined us. Our main story today is that the King is expected to refer to his cancer treatment during his traditional Christmas message later. The royal family will go to church at Sandringham this morning, but Prince Andrew will not be joining them. Our senior royal correspondent, Daniela Relf, has more details. Right, let's speak to Carol, see what the weather is like on this Christmas morning. Happy Christmas, Carol, good to see you. It was foggy when I set off from home this morning. Is that going to lift?
It should do, Roger, as we go through the day, but some of it may just lift into low cloud. And happy Christmas to you also. But before I go, one last thing. If you are travelling over this festive period, you want to know what the weather's going to be like, don't forget you can check out our BBC weather app. Roger.
Thank you very much, Carol.
Thanks.
One of the standout TV moments this year, I'm sure you'll agree, certainly if you saw it, was 23-year-old Brad Keller winning the second series of Channel 4's The Piano. Well, since then, Brad has gone on to perform at the Royal Albert Hall, at the Liverpool Philharmonic, and he's released a debut single which he dedicated to his foster parents. Brad and his twin brother Aaron have been speaking to Breakfast about what Brad's success has meant to them both. It was Graham Satchell with that report for us. Now, hopefully you are enjoying your morning. It's just after 8:30. Perhaps some presents have already been opened. You might even have the turkey in the oven if that's what you're having. And once all the festivities are over, you'll get to spend a bit of time relaxing. But before you do, spare a thought for all those people who are out working hard over the festive period. And working hard is the crucial thing. I was about to tell you, there's about 15 people involved in our programme this morning. If you look on my Twitter, you can see the 5 of them who've been here overnight getting the programme ready. However, there are lots of people working an awful lot harder. And among them, Erin Cool and Rebecca Klein. They're both midwives. They're on duty at Liverpool Women's Hospital today. Morning, both of you. Thank you for talking to us. Happy Christmas to you both, Erin and Rebecca. How many babies have you had born overnight, I wonder? Let's speak to Carol. She's had the forecast for us. You've been waking everyone up with news of what the Christmas weather has in store. Happy Christmas again, Carol. What's it going to look like then? It's very mild. That's what everyone's saying, isn't it?
That's absolutely right, Roger. Yes, and happy Christmas to you as well on our BBC weather app. And a very happy Christmas, Roger.
Oh, thank you, Carol. You too. And for the First Lady of Breakfast to be here on Christmas Day, it's fantastic. Thank you very much indeed.
Bless you. Thank you.
Have a lovely day. Happy Christmas.
You too.
It's just approaching 9:15. We'll carry on with a bit of the festive theme in just a moment. I just need to bring you a little bit of breaking news, which is just reaching us from Redditch in Worcestershire. West Mercia police have told us that a 39-year-old man has been shot dead by armed police in Redditch last night on Christmas Eve. So that's coming from West Mercia police. They're the force that covers Redditch in Worcestershire. A 39-year-old man shot dead by armed police. There'll be more on that during the course of the day on the BBC News channel. Latest updates, of course, if you've got the BBC News app or on the BBC News website, you can keep up to date as well. But that news coming in from West Mercia Police this morning. Now, for many people, of course, Christmas is a time for getting together and celebrating, but it can also be a time for helping those who are most in need. The homelessness charity LifeShare has been working for almost 40 years to support homeless and vulnerable people across Greater Manchester. It is actually one of the few charities, probably, open on Christmas Day. Our reporter Ollie Constable is there now. I guess, Ollie, lots of homelessness shelters will be open today because it is a time for helping people who really need it. Just tell us what's happening there. It looks very busy. Wasn't that beautiful? Steve Rosenberg and Kieran Jenkins in the bleak midwinter. That's it from me and the rest of the breakfast team this morning. Happy Christmas. Thank you for your company this morning. We hope you have a lovely day. Breakfast will be back tomorrow morning at 6. Bye-bye.
A whole weekend away, just me and you.
Well,